Hey everyone, it's Miss Gubrood, and we have a review today of everything from Unit 1 that we've been learning so far. Rates, ratios, graphing, proportions, factor puzzles. We're putting it all together today for a review, and we're using our new tool, Cami. So I'm going to walk you through how to get that new tool working for you. And here's an opportunity. This past week, you've had an opportunity to play with Cami a little bit on our puzzles. Now it's our opportunity to try to apply using Cami to all that we've learned to see how we can solve the trick-or-treating trouble problem. Here, let's go. All right, so here's what your assignment looks like. Now, this is it. If you haven't yet, you're going to click the Open with Cami button. So you are going to need the Cami tools to write on this doc. So take a look here. There's two places that it might ask you to open with Cami. Once you open up the doc, you might have to click this little Open with, and then you're looking for Annotate. Annotate, remember, is just a fancy word that means like kind of write on. So you're going to annotate with Cami, or some of us might have this little button pop up, this little blue button with a big K that says Open with Cami. Now, you might be saying, okay, Ms. Gubrood, but where is that? Where are we going to find this assignment? Well, take a look. So we're in Google Classroom, and I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm clicking on classwork just like we usually do. I open up Math Google Classroom. I click on classwork. Now, look at this. Here's October 15th. There's the assignment. Rates, ratios, and graphs. You know our assignments are always listed by date, so it's easy to find which day it's on. So you're going to click that and then click View. There it is, View Assignment. Always good to click View Assignment. You are going to look for the assignment that starts with your name. Mine doesn't start that way because I created it. So it doesn't start that way, but you're going to View Assignment. Now, let's see if it will show me. If I click on it, look at this. Oh, it is. Look at this. It's going to see how there's nothing here on the left-hand side. I'm not ready to start using it yet. There's got to be tools over there. So you either can go right up here, Open with, and click that. There it is, Annotate with Cami, or look at this, I have that button again. So you can click on either of those two buttons. If you don't have that little blue Open with, you certainly can Annotate with Cami. Click on Annotate with Cami. So that means you're going to be able to draw on it. Now remember, it takes just a little bit longer to load than typical. I don't know why, but take a look. You should see these features, all of these features popping up on your doc when you open it up. Then all of those features are available to you as you start going. So you're going to scroll down. You've got it open with Cami. Now you're ready to go. Trick-or-treating in trouble. Now, I'm actually going to not show you right here this one with opened with Cami, just because it's a little harder to see for me when I'm making the video. So instead, I'm actually going to go back. Oops, that's not what I'm looking for. Holy cow, I've got too many tabs open. Here we go. Okay, I'm actually going to go back to my original Google slide presentation because it's going to be easier to see for you on the video, but you're going to stay right on that PDF using Cami, and you're going to work through the problems. So let's take a look. I'm going to present here again so that we can see it more easily. There's where we left off. Now, here it is, trick-or-treating trouble. Now, I want you to know that all these words, you can have them read to you either in English if you want, or if you want like Spanish, you can choose to have them read in Spanish. That's one of the features of Cami, which is super cool. So here I am trick-or-treating. So here's the problem. You chose a fantastic neighborhood to go trick-or-treating in, and not only did they give out whole-size candy bars, woot woot, they gave more than one treat per house. Now it's time to do some math, because what could be better than doing math while you're out and about collecting candy? That's what I want to know. So here's the situation. After stopping at 6 houses, you have already collected 42 pieces of candy. If every house gives out the same number of pieces of candy, what's the unit rate? So it wants you to write your unit rate sentence right here. So with the Cami tool, you're going to be able to write right there. You're just going to grab one of the tools, probably the writing tool, or you could do the texting tool, and you're going to just write the answer right there. Now, notice how there's part 2, part 3, part 4. So this is part 2. Now you're going to create a rate table. Don't get confused with ratio. You're going to create a rate table. Remember, something per one something. For the candy per, remember there's that invisible one, candy per one house unit rate that you just found. Remember to label your columns. So there you're going to make a rate table, something per one something. Now, we're going to think about last year. Last year, you collected 5 pieces of candy per house, per one house. It wants you to create a rate table, something per one something, for last year's constant rate. So those are two, this one on slide 4 and this one on slide 5. Those are 2 different rate tables. Slide 4 is this year's candy, which it talked to us about right there. You have to figure it out. This is last year's candy, and you don't have to figure out the rates. It's already there, 5 pieces per house. You just need to make a rate table that shows what if you went to 2 houses, how much would you have? What about 3 houses, how much would you have? What about 4 houses, etc. Now we're back to ratios. Remember, ratio tables are those 2 rate tables we just talked about, squished right together. So now you're going to squish your 2 rate tables into a ratio table. All right, everyone. Whoops, my lights are off. Oh, goodness, and I can't get it back on. I'm doing my little lights on dance, and it just won't come on. All right. Oh, that's crazy. Well, you can see me in the dark, I guess. All right. Remember, you're squishing your 2 rate tables together. And when you squish them, something squashes out. Rate table of how much you collected per house this year, rate table of how much you collected per house last year. Squish them together. The per house is squished right out. So that's the part that's squished out. You keep the how many pieces you got in this year. You keep the how many pieces you got last year. That's your 2 sides of the ratio table. The thing that's squashed right out when you put those 2 together is house 1, house 2, house 3. Doesn't mean it's not there. It just becomes invisible. All right, let's go on. Now, this is something brand new with Cami. I'm excited to see how you can do this. You are going to make a graph. It's time to graph your data. Use your rate table from slides 4 and 5. So you're going to use the rate table from slide 4 and 5, and you're going to turn that data into ordered pairs. Now, remember that's number, comma, number, parentheses. First number is the X, second number is the Y. This is different. You're going to make 2 line graphs right on the same grid. One line graph is going to be last year's candy collection. After 1 house, you had how much candy? After you went to 2 houses, you had how much candy? After 3 houses, you had how much candy? That's going to be one color. You're going to do the same thing with this year's data. So you're going to plot the 2 different things on the same graph. We haven't done this before, but you see it all the time in real life. So you are going to have 2 different lines, 2 different colors. One of them is going to be this year's data. The other one's going to be last year's data. You're going to plot them right on that same graph. That's going to be fun to see. Use 2 different colors. Cami should make that super easy for you. I'm excited to see how we can use that Cami tool to make it easier to graph. Then, factor puzzle. The last thing here is our factor puzzle. We have to solve this proportion problem. You collected 30 pieces of candy from 5 houses. So it's a little bit different. I changed the numbers a little bit. You collected 30 pieces of candy from 5 houses. How much candy will you collect when you've gone to 15 houses? I gave you the factor puzzle. Now, when I was drawing this, I was having a hard time. It wouldn't let me just write that line and this line and this line and this line. Because how we know factor puzzles have those lines outside them. That's tricky. It wouldn't let me do that, but it let me give you the factor puzzle and these boxes. And I figured the boxes are just like the lines too. So go ahead and solve this factor puzzle right on there, right on that paper using Cami. And finally, the last one, assumptions. That's the what if game. Remember, what assumptions must we make in order for our trick-or-treating experience to be a constant rate? This whole time we've been working, we've been thinking it's a constant rate. But what are the assumptions that we have to make? Let's do a what if. There's a lot of what ifs about Halloween, about trick or treating. You can figure it out. What if your teacher showed up dancing as a skeleton with two partner skeletons on either side? And the answer is start running away, because that would be scary. No, the answer is that's not an assumption we're making about it being a constant rate. What are the what ifs that could happen while you're trick or treating that would cause you to not get the exact same amount of candy, house after house after house after house? What are the what ifs? And remember, the answer is always, nope, that didn't happen. Those are your assumptions. Whatever it is, nope, that didn't happen. Those are your assumptions. Go ahead and write as many as you can in that space. I hope this is a kind of a fun activity, an opportunity for us to review what we've been doing, and also to try out our new Cami tool, so we can see how it can work for us. All right, everyone, my lights are still off and you still can't see me. So this is just, oh, there you go. Whoa, now I'm like really lit up. Okay, this is kind of a silly video. Have fun. Remember, if you have questions, you can chat me, you can email me, you can see me in our small group meetings, and every single day, 2 times a day, you can come and see me in office hours and I can help you. See you next time.